Hare Krishna, welcome to Ved Sarthi. Today we are going to learn Bhagavad Gita chapter 1 verses 21 to 23. We are currently learning the verses under the theme Krishna as Bhaktavatsal, verse number 21 to 25. So today we are going to cover the first three verses in this theme. Bhagavad Gita 1.21 and 22. Arjuna vacha senayorubhayor madhye ratham sthapya me jyut yavadetam niriksheham yodhukaman avasthitan kermaya saha yodhavyam asmin rana samudyame. Arjuna uvacha. Arjun said, senayoho, of the armies, ubhayoho, both, madhye, between, ratham, the chariot, sthapya, please keep, me, my, achyut, O infallible one, yavat, as long as, etan, all these, nirikshe, may look upon, aham, I, yodhu kaman, desiring to fight, avasthitan, arrayed on the battlefield, kaih, with whom, maya, by me, saha, together, yodhavyam, have to fight, asmin, in this, ran, strive, samudyame, in the attempt. Translation. Arjun said, O infallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. Bhagavad Gita 1.23. Yotsyamana vaksheham ya etetra samagataha dhartarashtrasya durbuddhe yuddhe priya chikirshavah. Yotsyamanan, those who will be fighting. Avekshe, let me see. Aham, I. Ye, who. Ete, those. Atra, here. Samagataha, assembled. Dhartarashtrasya, for the son of Dhritarashtra. Durbuddhehe, evil-minded. Yuddhe, in the fight. Priya, well. Chikirshavah, wishing. Translation. Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. Now let us try to understand these verses from Dua perspective. Discover, understand, apply. Here in Bhagavad Gita 1.21, Krishna is referred to as Achyut. Now let us try to understand this word, Achyut. The meaning of Achyut is infallible. So Krishna is addressed here as Achyut or infallible because of two reasons here. First, Krishna is completely under the control of his devotees. He never fails in his affection for his devotees. Here, as a charioteer, Krishna is engaged in the service of Arjuna, and he does not hesitate to carry out the orders of Arjuna. So this is first meaning. And the second meaning, even though Krishna is serving as a charioteer, his supreme position was not challenged. In all circumstances, he is the supreme personality of Godhead, Rishikesh, the Lord of the total senses. So, first, he never fails to show his affection for his devotees. So that is one of the meaning of Achyut. And the other meaning is he never falls from his supreme position. All right. The relationship between Lord and devotee is sweet and transcendental. A devotee is always eager to serve the Lord, and Lord also, is eager to serve devotee. Lord obtains transcendental pleasure in receiving the orders of his pure devotees. Although, at the same time, the position of the Lord remains infallible, that he is the supreme master, but he feels pleasure in receiving the orders of his pure devotees. Just like, we can understand by an example of a Supreme Court judge and his grandson. So position of the judge is supreme in his courtroom, where he is giving rewards and punishments. When he is at home, he is delighted to take the orders of his grandson and even, plays the part of his horse. So this we can understand, this sweet relationship we can understand through this example. Okay. Now this name Achyut of Krishna. This indicates the quality of Krishna, which is known as Bhakta Vatsal. That is why, the theme of these verses is also Krishna as Bhakta Vatsal. Bhakta Vatsal, what is the meaning? Bhakta means devotees, and Vats means chest. And La comes from the root word Lati or Rakshati, which means to give protection. So now combining these words, what do we understand? That Bhakta Vatsal means he who brings devotees closer to him and protects them. An example where Vrajvasis address Lord as Bhakta Vatsal is given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 25, verse number 13. When Indradev sends torrents of rain in Vrindavan, the Vrajvasis, they address Lord Krishna as Bhakta Vatsal, and they express their complete dependence on Krishna. And this is the verse here. Krishna Krishna Mahabhaga Twan Natham Gokulam Prabhu Tratum Arhasi Devanaha Kupitad Bhakta Vatsala. The cowherd men and women address Lord. Krishna Krishna, O most fortunate one, please deliver the cows from the wrath of Indra. O Lord, you are so affectionate to your devotees. Please save us also. So here, we see the complete dependence of Vrajvasis on the Lord. Also, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, verse number 29, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. So Krishna says, he is the proprietor and enjoyer. So this is the position of Krishna. He never falls down from that position. Okay? So Krishna is the proprietor, Krishna is the enjoyer. If we try to enjoy Krishna or his energies, then we are defeated. That is not our natural position. Now here, Arjuna, because Arjuna is pure devotee of Krishna, he knows very well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He knows that he is not the controller. He is being controlled. Okay. So as a devotee, Arjuna knows his position. He is begging to be excused. He says, my dear Krishna, I cannot order you. Order must come from you. But because you promised to carry out my order, you wanted to become my chariot driver. Therefore, I'm ordering you. Okay. So I'm not in position of ordering you, but you promised to carry out my order. And I think you are fixed up in your promise. Therefore, I'm asking you, oh Achyut, you don't fall from your promise. Although, Krishna has accepted the position of chariot driver for Arjuna. But Arjuna knows very well that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is a Supreme Controller. And actually, Arjuna is being controlled. Now, Achyut means fallen and Achyut means not fallen. Okay, so we living entities here, the conditioned soul here in this material world, we are fallen. Why? Because we have come with an enjoying spirit. We are trying to bring Krishna on the position of being enjoyed. What does that mean? That we are trying to get some profit for our sense gratification. So this is our unnatural position because Krishna cannot be enjoyed. Krishna is always, enjoyer. He is the proprietor. Here, one of the verses from a Vaishnav Kavi is quoted. Krishna bhuliya jeev bhog vancha kare, pashute maya tare jhapatiya dhare. So that means as soon as we forget Krishna and we want to do things for our sense gratification, that is Maya. And as soon as we give up this process of sense gratification and do everything for Krishna, that is liberation. Now, at this state, when we have the inclination to enjoy the material world, the material resources here. So that position is Achyut at this point of time. So now what will be our Achyut position? The infallible position. So that would be when we understand that we are part and parcel of Krishna and we start serving Krishna. So our Achyut position is what? Our Achyut position is to serve Krishna because we are part and parcel of Krishna. Jivere Swarupa hai Krishnere Nitya Das. So this is our natural constitutional position. Okay. Now application of this. First, we must completely surrender to Krishna and have complete dependence on the mercy of Krishna. Just like Pandavas. just like Vrajvasis. We must have complete dependence on the mercy of Krishna. Next, we should understand the supreme position of Krishna and should never have the tendency to enjoy Krishna or his energy. Very, very important. We should understand that everything belongs to Krishna and everything should be used in the service of Krishna because Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. And understanding this, we must engage ourselves in our natural position, that is to serve the Supreme Lord Krishna, just like Pandavas. All right. Next, Arjuna asked Krishna to move the chariot amidst the armies. He wanted to see all those who had come to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra. So this is the next discovery, that now Arjuna is asking Krishna to move the chariot in between the armies, and he wanted to see that who all had come to please Duryodhana. Now understanding, so Duryodhana wanted to take away the kingdom of Pandavas by his evil plans, and he was supported by his father Dhritarashtra. So that is why here Duryodhana is being referred to as evil-minded. And all the persons who had joined the side of Duryodhana to please him must have been the birds of the same feather. So they also had that mentality of what Duryodhana's mentality is. So they were also evil-minded. Okay, and ultimately they all were demolished because they wanted to support Duryodhana in his unrighteous acts. And as pure devotee of Lord, Arjuna did not have any desire to fight. Because before the war, Krishna took the proposal to Duryodhana that he gives Pandavas 5 villages for sustenance. But Duryodhana did not agree. He declined the proposal. And because Duryodhana was very obstinate, very stubborn, that is why this war was inevitable and Pandavas had to fight. Otherwise, as pure devotees of Krishna, they would have been satisfied with just 5 villages. And then Arjuna was anxious to see who were those persons who had come to please Duryodhana. And he wanted to, understand how much they were bent upon demanding an unwanted war. Okay, and then at this moment, when Arjuna has asked Krishna to place the chariot between the armies so that he could survey the opposite army. So basically at this moment, Arjuna had no intentions of peacemaking with them. At this point of time, he wanted to make an estimate of the strength. Although, he knew that he would be victorious because Krishna was by his side. But still, to make an estimate of the strength, which we, technically, we say Reiki or survey. So he was surveying the opposite army. Now, application here is that we must prioritize our spiritual life and be satisfied with minimal basic requirement for sustenance, just like the Pandavas. Although, we see that Duryodhana had unrightfully snatched the kingdom from Pandavas, still, Pandavas had no desire to fight. They would have been satisfied with just 5 villages for sustenance. But because Duryodhana was not willing to give even 5 villages to Pandavas, that is why the war had to take place. So practically, we must not, engage in so many efforts for material possessions, material resources. Instead, we must prioritize our life for spiritual activities. And whatever basic requirement materially is needed for sustenance, that we must accept. Wasting our life for material things and not prioritizing spirituality will actually lead us nowhere. We will not be able to attain the purpose of human life. Next application, we should not be like the warriors on the Duryodhana side because they were supporting the unrighteous and evil acts of Duryodhana. So here also in life also, we come across situations where we have to choose which way to go, towards the righteous way or towards the unrighteous way. So we have to be very careful that we must aspire to be righteous like the Pandavas and we should serve Krishna. Now Krishna as Bhaktavatsal, so we would like to share a short story And we'll narrate this story just as it is, how Srila Prabhupada had told in one of the lectures. So the story is, the title is Krishna Breaks His Promise. So here, Prabhupada ji is saying that I will give you an example how Krishna sometimes breaks his promise. It's a very nice story. So Krishna actually joined Arjun, and he promised that because the fight is between you brothers, so both of you, like Arjun and Duryodhan. So Krishna said that both of you are relatives. So it is not my duty to join one party and not to join another. So therefore, I have divided myself alone on one side, and the other side, my soldiers, Narayani Sena. So when Duryodhan and Arjun approached Krishna for help, so Duryodhan chose to take the Narayani Sena from Krishna, whereas Arjun chose Krishna. And Krishna agreed to join Arjun and said, I shall not fight. Okay, I may take some work which may assist you, but I will not engage actively in fighting. So then Arjun offered that whatever work, Krishna, whatever work you like, you can take. Then Krishna said, all right, I shall drive your chariot. Now Krishna's promise was that he will not fight the war. But there was a situation came when Arjun was perplexed by fighting with Bhishma. Actually, Bhishma was the greatest fighter on the battlefield, although he was a very old man, but he was the greatest fighter. And Duryodhan actually incited him, saying that because, on the other side, you have your pet grandson, like you are very affectionate towards the Pandavas. That is why you are not fighting fully. So now, due to this complaint of Duryodhan, now Bhishma wanted to encourage Duryodhan, and he said to Duryodhan that, all right, tomorrow I shall finish all these 5 brothers. Okay, and he said that I have got special arrows for killing these chivalrous brothers. Now Duryodhan was very intelligent. What did he do? He took those arrows from Bhishma, and he said that, okay, I will keep these 5 arrows with me in the night, and I shall hand over these arrows to you in the morning. Then Bhishma said, okay, you take this. Now Krishna, Krishna is, as a super soul, Krishna is sitting in everyone's heart. So it's everything, that Krishna knows, past, present, and future. Now Krishna knew that Bhishma has now promised that he will kill the Pandava brothers. So he asked Arjun that now you go to Duryodhan, and Duryodhan had once promised you that whenever you want to ask something, you can come and I will give you. So Krishna said that this is the right time to go and ask those 5 arrows which he had kept aside to kill you 5 Pandava brothers. Okay. Now Duryodhan was elder to Arjun, so naturally, he would keep his promise that he had offered to Arjun. Basically, during the fight, they fought like enemies, but after the fight, they were like relatives and friends. So now, Arjun went to the camp of Duryodhan, and he was received very, well by Duryodhan. Then Duryodhan inquired Arjun that, what do you want? Come sit down. Do you want anything from me? And if you want, I can stop this fight. See, here he's saying that, Arjun, if you want, I can even stop this fight. And in fact, he's saying here that I can return you this kingdom also. Right? Now Arjun said, no, I have not come to you for begging my kingdom. Fighting will go on. But you had promised me something. Then, Duryodhan recalled that, yes, I know. So I offer you, what do you want? Then Arjun at once said that now I want those 5 arrows. And then Duryodhan handed those arrows to Arjun. And now this information was carried to Bhishma. So Bhishma came to know that, see, Krishna is so cunning, he will save his devotee. So in order to save Arjun, actually Krishna did all this. Now, Bhishma, what did he say? He said that Krishna has broken my promise. The promise that I made to Duryodhan, that tomorrow I'm going to kill all these 5 Pandavas brothers. So he said, now tomorrow I shall see. If Krishna does not break his promise, then his friend will be killed. I will fight in such a way. So he said that I will fight in such a way that either Krishna will have to break his promise or I am going to kill Arjun. So the fighting took place next day. Arjun, the situation of Arjun was almost, on the verge of getting killed. So at that time, Krishna, in fact, the chariot of the Arjun that was torn into pieces and Arjun fell down. Then Krishna took up one of the wheels of the chariot and came before Bhishma. And then he said, now Bhishma, you stop this fighting, otherwise I will kill you. Bhishma at once gave up his arrow and he offered, all right, kill me, because Bhishma is also pure devotee of Krishna. So here, as soon as Krishna came to attack Bhishma, so Bhishma at once gave up his arrow and he offered that, all right, kill me. So now what we have to understand by this is that Bhishma promised that I shall kill Arjun tomorrow. And Krishna also promised not to fight. But just to save these two devotees, Arjun and Bhishma, because Bhishma was also a great devotee, just to show him that I am breaking my promise, please stop. So, in this way, sometimes for devotee, he breaks his own promise. And as you can see in this image, see, Arjun is stopping Krishna from breaking his promise. And here, Bhishma Dev has surrendered. He has given up his weapons, his arrow, and is standing to be killed by Krishna. So here we have Bhakta Vatsal Krishna, who can do anything out of affection for his devotees. That's all on these two verses. We dedicate this channel and all these videos to our Guru Maharaj, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Thakur, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Thank you. Hare Krishna.